The sixth and final topic of our session today is called Freak Out the Agency. And really, this is specifically for people who are going to be interacting with agencies about taking greater ownership of their creative process and thereby squeezing more juice out of the creative that comes out of agencies. In all my days in working in advertising agencies and with clients, one of the greatest problems we've always faced is trying to get down a very simple, concrete, clear objective about what the project is about. Very rarely do clients spend enough time considering and thinking through the brief, in particular honing in on exactly what the objective is and the metric for measuring that objective. The more time that the client spends thinking about this, the more they can expect from the advertising agency. And if they're able to put a metric to it, they can also measure the performance of the campaign and the advertising agency so that over time things can improve. This type of activity freaks out the agency. By spending enough time coming up with a very concrete objective about exactly what it is you want to do, it helps the agency to focus. Freak out the agency by not only delivering a proposal and perhaps an objective in the proposal or the brief, but even thinking down to perhaps the execution. A lot of times, clients can really understand their customers better than advertising agencies, and in fact better than what can be transmitted in a brief. So if you have a very good idea about what you think needs to be done, an instinct or a gut feeling about how the DM or the EDM should be put together, draw it, put it down and commit it to paper. Go down to the advertising agency and say, this is the kind of thing I believe that we need to create, and this is the reasons why we think we need to do it. Likewise, when you're creating digital assets, examine doing your own wireframes. My example I gave before about Dominic Coe from American Express, often Dominic spends a lot of time developing his own wireframe, looking at what is it that users are looking for, how should I divide the page up in terms of user experience, where should my YouTube videos go, where does my content go. The reason he thinks that he should contribute and develop the wireframe is because he knows the users better than the advertising agency. He understands the readership of his different cardholders and how they're going to behave online more than what could ever be transmitted in a brief and more than could ever come back from a creative agency. This is the part that he owns, and he contributes to improve the overall process and the creative given back by the advertising agency. Tweak until it hurts. I can't stress this enough. This is in fact the final component of topic 6, which examines looking at all the work we're doing that's coming from the advertising agency and internally purely from a customer point of view. This is really about taking off our corporate goggles, forgetting about marketing, not being wrapped up in our own idea. This is really now stepping right away from all of that, sitting in the customer's seat and looking at the creative which is coming in from a very detailed point of view. And it's very great that we come up with these big ideas and we have these fantastic strategies, but we don't want to lose the essence and the detail. We don't want to lose effectiveness because our DM campaign won't work because we're using the wrong kind of words, or the image which is leading the piece isn't quite right, or the brand needs to be tweaked to bring it closer to the customer experience. So these are the things that we as marketers need to sit in a customer seat, look for it very, very carefully, right from the beginning of the experience right through to the end, and tweak until it hurts. I mean, agencies don't like it when clients make lots of changes, but if you're making changes which are improving the response rate of your campaign, then you should tweak until it hurts.